Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Rule the Waves. This is our Russian Let's Play that we're playing through on a live stream. We are in part 11. We have fought 2 wars, winning 1 without really any real result against the Austrians, and losing 1 in decisive fashion against the Japanese, losing well more than half of our fleet, and fortunately no colonies in the actual engagement. Now, because of that defeat and because of the way the Russian Navy was ravaged, we're still in the process of rebuilding the entire Navy. In this episode, we'll continue down that path. In our last episode, we laid down a pair of battle cruisers and several other regular cruisers, I believe some destroyers as well. We'll likely design a new battleship class as we kind of progress several years in this episode, and hopefully continue the process of kind of creating a phoenix, a rising bird out of the ashes of the defeat. And we may progress closer to war with someone else in this episode as well, but we'll see. We'll sit back and we'll see. I'll jump back into the live stream here. I hope you guys enjoy this series. Let me know your thoughts below. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoy. Let's see here. We'll pause one of the charcoal classes for a month. Actually, we're going to pause 2 of them for a month. They're being built in Germany, so they're going to be built a little bit faster anyway. Training applied. Crew deems new tactics. Awesome. New vessels are completed. Awesome. French battleship, the Marseille, has 8 12-inch guns. That's fine. I prefer our ships anyway. Alright, so we'll go ahead and leave them halted for 1 more turn. Got additional ships being built. The U.S. government wants to sell us improved subdivision. We need the technology, but I don't have a lot of money for it. Still think we need the tech, so we'll buy it. Alright, so scientists are baffled. Baffled, they say! Alright, new docks completed. The French government's interested in buying rights to the extended double bottom for 4.4 million. By all means, I need that money. Alright, so our domestic battle cruisers are still ahead of the actual battleships. Let's see here. Go ahead and construction on one of these. The Austrian government wants to sell us medium-ranged submarines for 4.2 million. Yes, I want that. New fire control breakthroughs. Ugh, now I have no more money. Let's go ahead and halt the construction on this ship here. Alright. Where did all our money go? I think at this point what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and scrap the THG class. Final one of them is now 7 years old since its rebuild. Well, actually, since its completion. It has inferior guns. We're going to go ahead and scrap this ship. Give us about $1 million. It'll also lower our upkeep. The Navy Experimental Establishment suggests that the battleship Politika could be expended for gunnery practice and damage assessment. What do you say? Good idea. Firing trials against have improved gunnery in the Navy. Alright, well, I was hoping for something else, but hey, that's okay. Let's see here. We're also building a bunch of new light cruisers. Go ahead and scrap. We're building 10 new destroyers, so we'll go ahead and scrap these 1907 destroyers as well. They're a little bit small. They don't have enough torpedoes. Scrap those 7 ships. We get a little bit of money, but we also lower the upkeep cost slightly. Under construction over here, we're going to go ahead and halt the construction on 2 of these light cruisers, which we're building. And that'll get us back into the black. More month, then we can start those other ships back up. They're offering to sell us 11-inch guns. I don't need these Japanese guns. They're inferior quality and they're smaller calibers than we're going to build. Additional research is coming through here. Let's see, how do we resume these ships here? I want to resume these battleships, but I don't have money to do it. Go ahead and halt some of these. We're going to halt half of the light cruisers are being built. We'll halt one of the battle cruisers. Back into the black. They're willing to sell us high-capacity pumps for $4 million. We don't have that money, but I'm always in favor of spending money we don't have. I rather improve our technology, frankly. Right, so we'll get back into the black here this turn. We just researched larger destroyers. And we're going to jump ahead to 1914. So we kind of blasted through a bit of time. We're up to 16 million in funds. We've got a lot of ships that are halted. We'll go ahead and resume those. Some of those. The battleships here get us back in the... Gonna be right back into the red. Let's see here. Ahead. Let's see, there's an internal upheaval in Venezuela. If we send an expeditionary force to restore order, there's a chance we can take it over as a colony. We might piss off the United States. Do we have an alliance with Germany? Because our tensions are 0. Let's go ahead and... Someone must battle the burden. The situation in Venezuela has spiraled out of control, and a local warlord has taken over as president. Our expedition cannot affect the situation. You are criticized in the press for your vainglorious colonial schemes. Damn! And the United States and a few other countries don't like us. Well, I was hoping we'd get a little bit more money if we took over one of those foreign countries, but unfortunately, alas, we did not. There's been a political murder in the Balkans. What's your action and how to handle the crisis? Demand the guilty are brought to justice, and at the risk of war, increase tension by 2, budget and prestige. There should be a diplomatic solution, increase tension and budget, lower prestige. Nations are stupid. No, we're going to demand the guilty party be brought to justice as we ratchet up the tensions with Great Britain, Austria, and France. Okay. So tensions are increasing. So is the naval budget. We're up about 30 million from where we were before. That will be necessary to keep these vessels all in fighting trim. We'll go ahead and restart production on 2 of these cruisers here to get their progress a little bit further. The Austrian government wants to sell superimposed turret X for 3.2 million. We need that technology. Yes. Right. We've also built larger docks. 13-inch guns of quality 0. We can do without unreliable foreign guns. We're not going to use 13-inch guns now that we have 14-inch guns. We're going to spend 3.2 million to make larger docks. I think we'll build our next class in 1915. Hold a speech at the annual gathering of the Naval League. And 2 budget per Germany, Great Britain, or France. Germany, our tensions with them are the lowest of anybody. We almost had an alliance with them briefly, actually. Our budget is up over 300 million now. Back into the black. Got $11 million. Let's go ahead and resume construction on some of these ships. Be completing some of these ships very shortly here. So we're 3 million in the red, but light cruiser being commissioned. That drops our expenses a bit. Private shipbuilding just increased our docks. We've got other work on that's being done to increase the dock size. Industrial production is increasing, which is increasing our budget. Kind of blasting through the game at this point. Close to inventing 12-foot rangefinders. Okay. Thank you very much for the host, Exlavis. All right, a scandal involving some important dignitaries from Austria-Hungary has occurred. Is a party given on world... okay, hush it up, which will lower tension. Use it to embarrass Austria-Hungary. Yeah, screw you, Austria-Hungary. We already won a war against you once. All right, so new light cruisers are coming online. New submarine technology. I think we're going to build some subs. We can do a mine lane sub, or we're going to do some medium-range submarines. The monthly build cost is, let's do 10 of these things. It's going to be about $2 million. It's going to take about a year and a half. Medium range subs can be useful, I think. So we'll do that. That's kind of our next construction effort. We should have some ships coming off the ways here. Another round of fighting's broken out in the Balkans. No doubt it's due to the meddling of Germany, France, Great Britain. Those are our options. Are they serving? We'll just do the +1 prestige. I don't want to blame anyone in particular. Our navy is pathetically small as it is. There's a rebellion in the British possession of lower tensions by helping Great Britain. Why would I do that? Help Great Britain. I don't want to incite rebellion. Okay. So once these battleships come off the ways, we're going to immediately start building a new battleship. All right, we just made him a national hero. Our battleships can't hit their design speeds. They want to buy the double bottom. I'm not going to go to war with Great Britain, so by all means, I can use the money. And ship design, superimpose turrets on heavy cruisers. Well, I have no desire to build heavy cruisers as we blast ahead here to April of 1915. All right, 2 battle cruisers still under construction for a few more months. Meanwhile, we now have 3 dreadnoughts. How far behind are we? Good Lord, the Germans have 16. We could fight the Austrians. That's about all I can say right now. We could fight the Austrians. They got 6 battle cruisers, though. Good Lord. Everybody's so much further ahead of us. We're a land power, right? All right, we need to wait 1 more month till these docks are done. New docks. The Republique, 12, 14 inches. That's great. All right, so we can now build battleships of 40,000 tons. So I think we should go in here and design a mammoth super battleship. What do you guys say? All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here and design a ship. Actually, let's go ahead and scrap these 2. We're eliminating pre-dreadnoughts from our navy altogether, so we scrap those pre-dreadnoughts. The charcoal class is only going to be a class of 2. Alas, I was hoping it would be a massive class and we'd use all our money on that. But we are going to build a brand new class, design a brand new class of vessels, battleships. Thank you very much for the follow, JFEC. All right, we'll go ahead and design this auto-design. A new battleship class. It's going to be 40,000 tons, so we auto-design, but then we're going to go ahead and jump in here and add to it. It's going to be a super battleship. 14-inch main guns. Superimposed. Let's clear all turrets here. We'll add a forward triple turret. Add a forward superimposed triple turret. We will add a aft triple turret and a aft superimposed turret. 4 superimposed, or 4 turrets on the center line. All right, it's going to have director fire control, 100 rounds a gun, 2 fire control positions, 14 inches. Going to use oil. Turrets are going to have 15-inch armor. I'd like the belt to be 14. I guess we're going to have to see what we can all do here. And I'd like the deck to be 3 inches. No extended on either deck or belt. So that's going to increase our flooding risks. Secondaries are going to be 5-inch guns, not 18-inch guns, or 5 inches or better. We're only going to have 14 of them. They'll be in turrets. No torpedo tubes. Increase mine protection. No, we can't. You know what? The secondaries don't need 6 inches of armor. Turret top 5 inches, that is overkill. I think 3 inches, let's equal it to the deck, is probably adequate. I guess we'll drop the turrets to 14, they'll equal the guns. So you can see here we can make 24 knots, 14-inch belt, 14-inch turrets, 16-inch conning tower, 5 inches on the secondaries, 3 on the turret top. We want like 1 inch on the belt extended. We can't even do 1 inch on the belt extended. We could do 2. What if we did this? What if we did 2 and 1.5? Then we cut the speed to 20. Can't even do that. Fuel type oil, range medium, 40,000 ton displacement. Drop the secondaries to 12 guns. Speed to 22 knots, which matches our, I think, what our battleship. Charcoal class can only make 21 knots, frankly, so 22 knots is probably fine. I don't want it to just easily sink from secondary fire, though. That's the issue. That's why I'm kind of considering a little bit heavier armor on the belt extended and on the deck extended. Drop the main gun allotment to 90 rounds a gun. And the conning tower to 15, and I think that's what we'll do. I am not dropping the turrets to 2 guns. We need 12. I want 12 guns on the center line, and we're going to name this ship the Gulag class. Because if you question its design, you will be sent to the Gulag. All right, and I can't spell. All right, there you go. The Gulag class. Still, somehow we don't have training gear on the secondaries. He is expensive. All right, so we can afford 4 of them. Good lord. Well, we can afford it at the current build rate for 4 months, and then we'll be out of money. But we're going to build 4 of the Gulag class. We are now building 6 6 dreadnoughts, 4 battleships, 2 battle cruisers, so that at the end of the day we would have 7 dreadnoughts and 2 battle cruisers. That still puts us way behind anyone. I'm surprised Great Britain only has 9 battleships in service. Germany is blowing them out of the water. The British have focused more on battle cruisers, but even so, the British have 21 commissioned battle cruisers and battleships. The Germans have 22. What is going on here? Light cruisers of 19, I think, is about good. I don't think we need to build any more. We may want to build some more destroyers, but we'll kind of leave things where they are now and progress a few months till we're bankrupt. The new Naval Secretary has read a book on naval strategy extolling cruiser warfare. He wants you to build at least 10 additional cruisers. What? Really? You want 10 additional cruisers? We don't really need that. Let's do 5. Well, let's see. If we do, of course, we get budget and prestige. So the name of the game is prestige, right? So we need to build at least 10 cruisers. We're going to build design a new cruiser class. Let's see what we can do here on a budget. Go ahead and do that. We'll auto design. It'll 5,600 tons, 28 knots. We'll drop it to 5,500 tons. Carries mines. Can we add some torpedo tube? Doesn't look like we can have above water torpedo mounts yet. All right, so max torpedo tubes. It'll have, let's switch these down to 5-inch guns. Makes 28 knots. Made a long-range vessel. Puts us in the red, but we'll figure that out in a minute. Drop the belt to 2 inches. Gets us back into the black. Again, it can carry mines. 6, 8 guns here. Can we add a starboard midship wing, a single turret? Port midship wing, single turret. Kind of debating here. If we drop to 27 knots, what do our current cruisers make? I'll make at least 28 knots. So, well, some of the older ones make 20. Gotta bump this to 28. Increase the weight, maybe. Slightly larger. It'll make it more expensive, but a 5,600 ton cruiser, it'll actually be the smallest light cruiser we have. It'll make the 28 knots of the standard cruiser weight. Still throws a pretty good broadside here with these 5-inchers. I don't know why we'd have 3 secondary. I don't understand that number. So we're going to go ahead and drop this down. 6, 3. We'll make it 8 3-inchers. We'll put them in casemates, maybe. Well, it doesn't make sense. 24. We'll make it slightly larger. All right. It'll be 5,800 tons, we'll say, which is actually still 1,000 tons lighter with all these different technologies and torpedoes. Gives us a bit of a buffer. I didn't realize it was cramped, so I guess. All right, we'll make it 6,100 tons. It keeps creeping up and getting bigger and bigger. It's going to be $1 million a month to build, so we're going to need to find money for this. Let's see here. I mean, it is a mine layer cruiser. I just don't understand, like, is there any reason, what do you guys think? Is there any reason to have mines on this cruiser? Does it make it a much more deadly weapon or platform? Is there a pro or a con to it? Trying to understand what reason we would want that. Is there any particular reason that any of you can think of that a mine layer cruiser is a good idea? Like, what utility does having a mine layer cruiser do? I assume maybe it would be better coastal raider, or like in fleet operations, I don't really know what it does. Thank you for the follow, Amware. So it increases the odds of an event of an enemy ship striking a mine, which is useful. Does it increase the likelihood of your ship blowing up? Like if you get hit by enemy fire? Glad you enjoy it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Rule the Waves, although I probably play combat in too loose and not of a effective manner, but it's always fun. Can anybody tell me if it increases the likelihood of, if I have mines on it, does it make my ships more likely to blow up when hit by enemy fire? The main thing that I'm worried about is like the magazine getting hit and going up. All right, you don't think that mines can be hit and blown up like a magazine. Well, that's good. All right, well, let's go ahead and consider this done then. We'll leave the mines on the ship. 6,100 tons, 28 speed, and an expensive as hell ship. Oh, I meant to call it the Muscova class. God damn it. All right, we need to build 10 of these things because our admiral's crazy. It's going to cost us $10 million. Look at all of that red. All right, let's go ahead and halt construction on 2 of these Gulag classes. And then, actually, we're going to halt construction on 3 of the new Gulag classes. Probably should halt it on everything except the Gulag. And then we'll, once these other Ishmael classes come off the lines, then we'll start restarting these other Gulag class. We've got enough money to get us there, I think. Completed, add 1 month to get the newest fire control. Yes, for both of them. British government wants to sell us diesel generators for 4.1 million. Yes. British government wants to buy the rights to improved face hardening for their armor. By all means, I'm not going to go to war with Britain. We're doing a vast arms trade with the British Empire. All right, 2 new battle cruisers commissioned into the Navy. I want to sell an arms technology to the United States. Cooperation will benefit both nations. All right, so let's go ahead and resume construction on one of these. Got 2 months of money left. I need to build new destroyers soon. Much praise for building the requested number of cruisers. I'm glad that you're happy. Now, will you please shut up so I can go ahead and like halt some of these now that I no longer have the requirement? Okay, we'll halt 4 of them, I think. Get our budget back under control. They're in service. These cruisers are obsolete, so we're going to go ahead and scrap them. 1.2 million. Just scrapped 4 light cruisers. We're building much more than that, so the Navy's still going to expand. We've now got the 2 battle cruisers and the 3 dreadnoughts in service, with 4 more dreadnoughts being built, although 2 of them are currently paused. Go ahead and resume construction on 1 of them for a month. That's all we have the money for. Spy from France has been discovered. Maximum publicity. I don't really want war, but I want more money. So we'll do that. It'll increase our budget, supposedly. Ooh, we researched 15-inch guns with 0 quality. All right. So let's go ahead and resume. Commissioned So our submarines are coming off the way, the 10 submarines that we were building for $2 million. Internal upheaval in North Korea. We should shoulder the burden. Our expedition manages to restore order in North Korea. The place is now under our administration. Huzzah! We gained a colony, folks. We gained a colony. All right. Increases tensions across the board, but the Russian Empire has expanded into North Korea. And now that should kind of be the real trigger for the Russo-Japanese War, I would think. I'd rather not go back to war with Japan. Interestingly enough, Austria, Germany, and Great Britain got pissed off by that. The Japanese don't seem to care. So, yay. Huzzah for us. Huzzah for Russia. All right, so gets us into June. The steel industry wants a stronger navy. They want you to convince the Tsar to increase naval expenditure. Our unrest level is low. So we can increase our prestige by saying the Navy is not a tool for their politics, or we can increase tensions in budget by saying yes. All right, so we're nearly at war with Germany. That's not good. But we do have a little bit more money now. So let's see what's all under construction. We've got one more of these battleships is currently halted. Everything's being built in local yards, so that's good. Go ahead and resume construction on one of these cruisers. For excess money. The government's concerned about tensions leading to war. You've been called to give advice. What do you recommend? International Disarmament Conference to reduce tensions. Good God, I do not want to scrap these battleships that we've been building. If you want peace, arm for war. We should spend more on the Navy. Really don't want a war, though. We should safeguard our interest by negotiating an agreement with United States of America. What does that do? Yay, we now have an alliance with the United States. Oh, goodness, that increased tensions with everybody else. All right, well, at least we have an alliance with the United States. So that's good. They're powerful, right? The U.S. has 14 dreadnoughts and 13 battlecruisers. They have the second largest fleet in the world. The British are really falling behind here. 22 dreadnoughts and battlecruisers versus 23 for Germany and 27 for the U.S. The British Empire is waning early. All right. Uh-oh, tensions just randomly spiked across the board. The U.S. government's interested in buying rights to the early hydrophone. By all means, I can use the money. Tensions just went up with Japan for no reason. Come on, guys. Get these ships completed. And free up a little bit of money. That. The U.S. government's offering to sell us the right of 3-inch guns. We can do without unreliable foreign guns. I don't want to offend you in the United States, but I really don't want to spend money on your stuff. So there you go. We're into January of 1917. And our Navy's largely new. It's just very small, thanks to that massive war with Japan. I kind of wonder about our ability to keep up in general if we hadn't been sort of pursuing our current route. You know, if we hadn't lost all those ships, I wonder how much more horribly out of date we would be. I'm debating, I would be deactivating and putting some of these ships in reserve, but frankly, with war so close across the board, especially with Germany and their 21 or 25 dreadnoughts and battlecruisers right on our doorstep, that's a little bit concerning. But yeah, so we have expanded Russia in this turn. We've rebuilt a sizable amount of the fleet. We've built 4 new dreadnoughts and battlecruisers. We have 4 more under construction. We've built a lot of cruisers, which will be coming off the way soon. With those 10 constructing light cruisers, we'll actually have almost parity with Germany in light cruisers. We're outnumbered nearly 2-to-1 in the way of destroyers. Their naval budget is almost 300 million higher than ours. That's just insane. That would be a very tough war if and when it comes. I know the U.S. doesn't fight battles with us, but maybe they'll be able to divert and siphon off resources. We do have some submarines, not a lot of them, but we have some. I think we'll actually go ahead and buy some additional submarines. Do mine-laying submarines hurt enemy commerce, you guys? Or is it just the regular subs? Like, is there any reason I would build mine-laying subs versus regular subs? Any thoughts there? Germany has all the money, on par nearly with Great Britain, and the benefit of not having quite as extensive a colonial empire, so they don't have to sort of divert as much of their fleet overseas. If they give you higher mine events, that's fine, but do they also give you the likelihood of sinking the same number of merchants? Just trying to figure out if it makes sense to buy them versus the mine lane subs. Yeah, they cost a little bit more. I mean, yeah, about 900,000 difference over 18 months. You guys are split. I'll buy the mine lane subs just because I have never used them in the game before. So we're building a submarine navy, folks. Hopefully that helps us in a war with Germany. We can starve their commerce a bit. We've got pretty high reliability. This is just weird. I put basically no emphasis into submarines until recently. And yet we were at like level 8. Now we're up to level 12. We're going to have really good submarines in the event of a war. We just won't have enough of them. Sounds like real world Germany. Okay. We have an Akula. The Akula. I wish I could give my submarines class names and design them. It would be kind of cool if you could actually design your submarines. We are better prepared for war, I think. We have torpedo warfare and gunnery as our training. Our crew qualities in general are good across the board. No one's elite, but good crew quality in the event of a war that should help. I also have these Revenge class ships, which have 8 torpedo tubes above the water. The Grozny class only has 2, so those are less useful, but the Revenge class will be very useful, I think. And maybe I just spam, in the event of a war, I spam build some more destroyers and subs because they can get ready in time. But yeah, I'm terrified of the idea of facing the German high seas fleet in the open oceans. With that being said, guys, I've been streaming for about an hour, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sign off here today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. This is 3 days in a row that we've been streaming Rule the Waves late in the evening and early into the early morning hours. I hope you guys continue to enjoy this series, and maybe in our next video we can avenge some of the stain that the Russo-Japanese War had on us. We regained territory. Actually, didn't regain. We never lost territory, but we gained the territory of North Korea. And, it would be sure nice to pick up some of the German colonies if we could fight them in a war and win, although I don't have any confidence in our ability to actually win a war against Germany at this point, given the discrepancy in fleet size. All right, everybody, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. The Russian Navy is well on its way to rebuilding itself, but it has a Herculean task ahead of it if we end up at war with any of the major powers outside of Austria. So we'll see how things pan out in our next video. Until that time, I appreciate you all for tuning in, and this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.